And welcome back to the Gears Winter Major. I'm Taylor Reflections, double joined by Guy Blaze. We're back at it again, now moving back down to the lower Swiss pool. And we're going to have two great teams, undefeated teams. And I'm not going to lie, out of the stack of teams that are competing, I didn't know if these two teams had it in them to be undefeated at this point. Well, they absolutely have. Well, we're going to be watching Morningstar versus Hive. Blaze, what are your thoughts on this series?
Oh, man, these two teams got a lot to prove here because going into the earlier days of the Pro League, we had high hopes for Hive. They were a top 4 team to us last season. But coming into this one, they've had a few issues here with this roster. And it's not exactly the same roster that they had before, but still in the same time, with Shock here, it is a good addition here for the squad. Now, on the flip end, Morningstar was a Pricity, and you got a chance to watch Pricity a lot there in the Challenger Series, them come up the ranks, but at a certain point they hit a ceiling as well in a Pro League. Sure. They just really didn't get better. So right now they're both 2-0 in the lower Swiss, and they're looking to make it 3-0, so they can get themselves a good placement there in the champ bracket tomorrow.
So they met up during the Pro League one time. That was, I believe, the third from final day, and it was a 2-0 for Hive, right? Hive was able to take over that victory over Morningstar Gaming. It was the last chance they met each other. Of course, as I've said before with previous matchup, this is a new tuning, right? So some teams do benefit from the new tuning. Jordan did a great interview with Lava just a little bit earlier from Noble, and he ended up saying, and I quote, this tuning actually made us stronger. So for them, it made them better. Now for Hive or Morningstar, I'm very curious to see if it made them better. We'll find out for sure, but both have got some victories over our challenger teams. For Morningstar, they were able to beat Majesty and Hayabusa, Hayabusa being the #1 team coming out of the Challenger Series. And for Hive, they were able to beat Remedy as well as Rated R. Rated R, a team that was second in the Challenger Series behind that of Hayabusa. All those matches ended in a 2-0. So no challenge so far, it seems, between these two teams, but now they match to each other, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot more difficult as these are two Pro League teams meeting up. Off the rip, though, we are going to see 3 members from Morningstar Gaming go down, and Hive is off to the races, looking to get that domination.
This weekend for Hive, I want Shock and Solurs to step up into leadership positions, and I'm pretty sure they've been in those leader positions most of the season, as well as Heidi, right? These 3 guys, I expect them when Hive get into difficult spots, they keep the team cool, calm, and collected, because I think this update should benefit Hive as well, because when it comes down to the players on their team, they got a smart group of guys, and they got that slaying power as well with players like Noey and Demise on the front lines. And Demise this season, man, I talked about him a lot. I think he definitely stepped up his game. Tidy did as well. This Hive team, man, I was disappointed in them in the Pro League because I wanted to see more out of them, but this is where it matters, right? They show up this weekend. Nobody's looking back at that Pro League placement. They're only looking at their major placements.
Well, just to clarify, they were both 3 and 8, and they finished off 9th and 10th respectively. So that's the last time I'm going to take a look at it. But you're right, the Winter Major is a different beast without question. And again, this is where you justify maybe a weak placing, right? You mentioned you were disappointed with Hive, but this is the opportunity for them to make amends for that and have a good placing during the Winter Major. And what a way to do that than to go undefeated in the lower Swiss pool. An opportunity that presents itself if they beat Morningstar Gaming. A little bit of a slower start for round number 2. Morningstar Gaming, though, is going to be all over Cinema, looking to pressure in on B. On the other end, you have Hive on the overextension. They've got the decap locked in for A. Well, I say locked in. Now it's finally going to come through. Siphonic is playing around with them. Now you also got Tidy in a 1v2. Hive is all over the map, but the reality is if they win that fight on B, they get the domination, but it looks as if they're not going to get that lucky just yet.
So Solurs and Tidy right there, they did a good job holding off up top at B while their teammates was working hard to get that A hill back. Siphonic slowed down that assault there from Hive for a while, and by him slowing that down, he actually helped his teammate get in a better position towards the top side of the map and utilize their numbers a little bit better as Hive is coming off respawn. Now, as this kill is being picked up down low, actually didn't get picked up because Shock's still here. He gets the revive, but now the double down is there, and Morningstar can keep all their attention on the fight in front of him. But Tidy at the bandstand, and he's going to play a tune that's going to slow this map down a bit for his teammates to come and give him some help. But as I say that, Morningstar, man, up on the top side, they're doing a good job flipping the attention on different sides of the map It's like a tug-of-war push and pull battle of the home hill and the neutral hill, and it's been keeping Hive off balance a bit till this moment. But it looks like both teams, they've kept the score relatively even, and now this should be one of our, maybe the final fight here for Hive, because on the side of Morningstar, they got plenty of respawns to use.
They do. They absolutely do. And again, this could be the final fight. Now, it really depends on how Morningstar locks this up. And, well, it seems as if they're doing a great job with it. I'm looking at that kill feed. It's going to be red as Hive looks to be on the back pedal. You got two members caught in the corner. That's going to be Shock as well as Solurs. Demise going to push up into Maniik. Maniik will get that kill. Goes in for the second. Meat Shield in hand. His teammates lancering out. Maniik will sacrifice himself. Oh, my goodness. Shock walks right through Marshall, a.k.a. Kwahe. My goodness, didn't expect that. But for Hive, though, they've kept the scoreline close. They're still getting the decap in, and they are going to respawn. So they're really going for this. They're committing.
Oh, man. I wish Shock would have prioritized the decap and just got out and kept the hill in neutral. He pushed up for the kill, but once his opponent side rolled, he could have just hung out there, got the decap, took cover, and let his teammates decap beat. And from that point on, Morningstar, they're not getting any points. Maybe they make some desperation pushes. Maybe Hive capitalizes in that moment, but ultimately Hive should not respawn anymore into this round. Morningstar should have this one locked in.
I know he's mad after that one. Hits Siphonic, or excuse me, hits Marshall with a full-on blast. Wasn't able to lock it up, unfortunate, but hey, at the end, he can rest easy as he knows his team got the victory 1-1. Now, we've highlighted Hive left and right. Now let's talk about Morningstar a little bit. This roster is talented without question. I'm very happy to see this roster competing again. As you know, they were Apricity before, now Morningstar. Now, Marshall is a very talented player. He was known as Kwahe at one point. I believe his Twitter is still Kwahe, but regardless, though, the skill set is the same. He's very, very talented. Levels and Jax have played very, very well on this roster. They can slay out when need be. They're jack of all trades, no pun intended, with Jax. And of course, Maniik and Siphonic, two great members that can pull up in a fight, and you know they have your back. Morningstar across the board is an exciting roster to watch, and I think they can absolutely go toe-to-toe, and that is apparent with the scoreline being 1-1 and both of these teams being undefeated. It definitely comes down to who wants it more. Round number 3 is underway. Let's see who is able to get the edge.
All right, here we go here. Now Hive is going to get an early cap at B. Tidy finds the sweet spot, but that's going to be with the damage in which he took capping that hill. Makes for an easy kill over the cover. Revive doesn't come through for Marshall, but he will be able to cap up this B hill while his team is distracting the players of Hive over at Juice. So at this point, Morningstar recognizes, okay, we don't need to do too much here. Back up, set up. Let's see where does Hive want to focus their forces at.
Big question, right? Where do they go for the retake? They've really tried to go for the overextension. That was kind of their ace in the hole last round. And I'm curious if they kind of delve deep into maybe heading over towards B. And that's not a start you want. With Marshall picking up Tidy, I think that's going to kind of thwart their plans, and Hive is going to go back to the drawing boards. Tidy needed that opening pick in order to maybe give Hive a little bit added confidence. And it seems as if the overextension is going to take place. So it's going to be a 2v2, and you are going to have Siphonic and Jax who are going to be challenging now. It looks like Exovios and that's going to be Shock. So let's see how this works out. The smoke is down. Exovios already dropped. Jax going in for the pickup. Not going to happen as Hive will be shut down. And Tidy's not even respawning. I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, that should be it. Tidy, he put his team on respawn watch. He comes in his round, he dies, and next thing you know, he only gets one respawn going into the final round. His teammates got to clutch up big here, and Zovios is going to say, hey, okay, I'll concede. We don't have both our home hills. You know, Solurs is left by himself at B. Go around, have some target practice, challenge some 1v1s, you know, see if these guys want to fight you or not. Because at the end of the day, he's not getting any other help from his teammates.
Not at all. He kind of left him stranded on the island, and Marshall and Jackson bullying him out in that 2v1. Morningstar takes that 2-1 lead. Good on them. This was their map pick after all, so you'd expect them to come out the gate swinging as they are. Of course, you're watching this great matchup between Morningstar and Hive. On our side station, we do have Rated R and Remedy taking place, and that's on live.gearsofwar.com or UMG Bravo, right? So check them out. I like this drop shot in mid already. Normally you see it in cinema or bandstand. But mid's about to see a lot of action. And you know what? This is not a typical fight that you normally see.
You know, it's Noey's fight, though, okay? And because it is Noey's fight, this is why Hive want to put the drop shot here. He's going to have to make some big plays. He's going to be cutting up through mid-map. He's going to have help from his duo and Demise, and we'll see what they can do. But this is a unique strategy here for Hive. They are going to throw something unorthodox here at Morningstar, which I don't think Morningstar would have possibly played in these type of positions. And they get slayed out to kick off this round. Let's see, can Hive acquire the drop shot? They will. Now they're going to back up with it without any issues whatsoever. They got Morningstar right where they want them.
Absolutely, and this is going to be powerful, right? Because of the fact this is not only the last round of the first half, but more importantly, that drop shot fight is going to continually happen. And for Hive to dominate it as well as they just did, that might show they're going to have a strong showing in the second half. The potential is there. Curious to see what Demise is going to do with the drop shot in his hand, but at the time being, Hive, they're happy with just setting up defensively and waiting for Morningstar to make a move.
All right, Hive, 2-to-1 hill setup. They got 3 players watching the B hill. They got their home hill being defended by Noey and Tidy. That's going to be Zovios there for you. Now, on the flip end of Morningstar, they got to get this drop shot to be utilized as soon as possible. They don't want to waste any time getting their opponents to shoot it. Even if you lose one player here, all right, bam, you know exactly what a drop is. This is where you need to shift your gears, possibly towards the home hill. Maybe the player from Juice rotates down low. Maybe player 7 tries to experiment with what he can get. But on the flip end, Morningstar, they're just going to slow it down. Even if you wait for your 5th to come off respawn, I think Hive still has one more drop to slow you down. So what are you going to do at that point?
I don't know. I mean, you know, that's the thing. It's just the cogs are turning, if you will, right? These guys are thinking it through. What do we do? And well, the answer isn't so clear because the map is ever changing. And I mean in terms of where your opponents are setting up. But they might have a breakthrough here. Look at this. Maniik in levels. And you're right. What a shot onto Exovios. Drop shots out. And that's going to take down Maniik, one of the guys who's leading the charge there, leaving levels, not by himself, excuse me. He is going to have Jax next to him, but it looks like Tidy might have a little, oh, I say that he gets chunked in the end. Solurs goes in for the kill. Shock is now there. Jax and Maniik looking to make this, or excuse me, Siphonic, and they do. 4 go down, and that's it. And you talk about a beautiful series of kills. Well, hey, they made it happen. And where did they go? They broke through mid, and they ended up making the fight theirs.
And I'm going to tell you where Hive messed up at, Taylor, okay? Before I tell you that, I'm going to tell you what, I'm actually going to say where Morningstar did right. They got a double kill before Hive got a kill with the drop. Now, when Hive got the kill with the drop, it was a 3v3. Now, why did that happen? The double kill happened mid-info. Where was the drop? It was top at the home hill at ATM defending that B hill. You don't want the drop there. Put the drop towards middle and Juice. Put it in a position to be able to watch multiple areas of the map, not just one. Morningstar identified it. They got the double kill. Hive, in that situation, when you see your opponent's about to push you, you can read the push. You should be able to read the push coming from a mile away at this level. Get the early drop kill, so then you can fight a clean 5v4 and keep your advantage.
All right, well, we have something new to fight for. Hive wants it, but it looks like Morningstar Gaming is actually getting the advantage once again. Tidy and Solurs will fall. Xovios looks to even up the odds, and he will. Drop shot goes to levels. The long shot goes to Exovios. So a bit of a different strategy here. Looking to take the head off. Not going to be successful yet, and that's 4 down, leaving Exovios by himself. Well, Tidy will join him off the spawn, but he's basically by himself. No one's around.
All right, snipe here, top side of the map. That's going to be a down air from Zovios. His teammates will clean up the kill. That was a player on their side of the map. So now they're going to put their attention over here towards F Hill. But Zovios needs to relax. Now, my question is this the best position in which you want the sniper? You got 4 shots. Yes, they got sight lines towards mid-map, but typically in this area, your opponent's not going to be hanging out in any position here for you to get a shot. So he needs to switch positions with Solurs. And I think Solurs does make the call out, say, hey, rotate this one back, move it around a bit. We know that our opponent has the drop shot. Go look for him. Go hunt him down.
Yeah, and that's the best move for him. I could get him staying there if the fresh drop shot was down, but we still have a ways to go before that's going to be the case. He might rotate back to go there, but oh, that was a nice quick shot. Good adjustment Of course, it's only a body shot, but still, it shows Morningstar you got to keep your head down. I say that, and the guy actually goes for a challenge with the Lancer. Now, Levels is ready. He's got the active reload in, and he still has 2 drill bits to his name, and he's going to put it to good use. Demise and Shock will fall. Xovios gets jacked, but hey, the better end of the bargain went to Morningstar.
It definitely did, and they still got one more drop in there acquiring points.
Yep.
Only about 2 shots left here for Xovios, and you ask me, he needs to be holding on to it till his team has to make another push, because he needs to be behind his teammates in the push so he can keep some players' heads down, keep the players' heads down that's going to be lancing you, trying to slow down this rotation. And if you got to put that one shot on your back and get your shotty out, so be it. You know, you'll have it when you need it.
Still, I think he should have been challenging maybe that long range of sight, trying to take down the drop shot player. He's been messing around on Blue Juice for quite some... Oh, hold up a second. Yeah, he went a bit too far, and Levels will take him down. Long shot out of the way. Actually, it might be on the ground, and Levels going to pick up a nice kill, and more importantly, he's going to go ahead and get the refresh on the drop. Morningstar can't do anything wrong, and look at the lead.
Yeah, he's doing a great job rotating that drop shot to different levels here on this map. Took it from bandstand, took it to center, and you know he's being very unorthodox with those rotations and is keeping Hive off balance. Morningstar made way better usage, had way better usage of the drop shot than Hive did the previous round, and because of that, they kept them off balance. They kept that man advantage, and they're gonna get a 4-round lead here.
Ooh, 4-round lead. You know, I thought this was going to be a lot closer. I saw the analyst desk all going for Hive. Now, granted, other than Fallout, he did go with Morningstar. He wanted to change it up, but he kept true. Or no, he went with Hive. I'm wrong. Everybody went with Hive. What you doing? Hey, Morningstar still. I know he wanted to change it though. He's trying to beat that outlier. Okay, so I'm right. Everybody went against Hive, or excuse me, Morningstar, but it seems as if maybe Morningstar is going to prove him wrong. And trust me, I've been on the receiving end of that. It doesn't feel good when everybody goes with one choice and then the other team wins. It gives them a little more to play with. Got the retro down. Morningstar is going to have that for their utility. Still the fight for drop shot and long shot is there. Let's see what Jax can do.
Man, that's another power weapon on this map. The retro is not something that you just want to have to be able to push through. And with Xovios getting first blood, his shock trades off his kill. And he got a good shot there on Jax, but Sniper goes over towards Morningstar. Multiple Hive members are going to lose their fight. Man, map the drop shots in the hand of Morningstar as well. And if you're a Hive fan, you're watching this first map slip away. If Hive finds some way to win this round, I would be so damn impressed here, Taylor.
Oh, 100%. This is a round that absolutely looks as if they are not going to take, but who knows? Who wants it? Levels, though, has that drill bit. He's ready to go. And I think Hive is just going to bait it out.
So now we got to talk about, how does Hive possibly win this round? Well, step one, isolating 1v1s.
No.
And Xovios gets a big fight for his team, and that's what makes him so special, Taylor, because he'll take initiative in situations like that. You know, they're fights that not every player would be comfortable to take, but for Xovios, that's what he's all about. But on the end, you got to be able to check that corner to the right. Or you got to know that somebody's watching that side of the map, especially with Morningstar being fortified for as long as they were with both power weapons. In the end, Hive, they get the E heal, they get the F heal. If they can capitalize off Morningstar's mistakes here, they can find themselves back in this round. I think we still got 2 drop shots to utilize too. And this is where you want the sniper out on this map. You want to be able to rotate it down low to middle, keeping, you know, your opponents uneasy here in these fights.
Speaking of uneasy, 3 go down once again. Morningstar will regain control. You mentioned a drop shot. That'll be coming up shortly, I do think. I'm curious to see who's going to be able to get it. Morningstar's kind of been flawless over the past 2 rounds, getting that drop shot. Long shot, obviously, in the hands of Marshall. I don't think he's done much with it as of yet, but he's at least commanding attention. Those players to keep their head down. He's got Solurs and Xovios looking to take their head off, and it'd be important to do so. New drop shot surely is underway. That's why Xovios and Solurs are going into the mix. Marshall now is just going to try and snub out. Xovios will get dropped. I believe there's Lancer Fire coming out from a different angle. A couple kills are going to be underway. Xovios will be dropped here. Solurs now fighting through the mid. Demise going to pick up that fresh drop shot. Solurs now going in for the finish. Meat Shield's in front, takes down the Meat Shield, goes in for the kill, and he gets Maniik down. A beautiful retake. and that allows E to be fully capped from Hive.
That's a champion on your screens right there. You got to put respect on Solurs' name anytime you watch him, especially in a major, because he makes plays like that, Taylor. Now, you got another set of drops on the side of Morningstar. I'm still holding on, and I'm going to be so impressed if Hive finds a way to win this. Oh my God, that was the shot Hive needed. Demise misses the second, but they couldn't get in for the decap at D. His teammates need to press through Juice. They need Zovios to go big, but Zovios just died to Siphonic.
Oh, no.
Demise, what do you got?
That's a nice body shot. That's a nice body shot.
He's in the mix. He needs to save his teammate, but he can't.
Oh, man. Hey, they gave it a good shot. That snipe was dirty either way.
It was a great-ass attempt, Taylor.
It was. It really was. But at the end of the day, Morningstar will secure 5 rounds in a row, and Hive will take the L on that one. But I got to say, Morningstar picked District for a reason. Well, I can see why. I know Forge is coming up next, but for Morningstar, they've got some entrance. We might be seeing a game 3, but at least for now, they might be able to get a 2-0. I know they've got that in the bag. Let's see if it happens. Hive falls very short in that map.
Oh, man, Demise hit some good shots there. I think the one body shot that he hit on one of the guys to the wall, Tidy missed a shot in his back because we saw Tidy coming up there from the flanking center. And, you know, he gets that kill. Demise can get the extra feet that he needs to possibly get that revive. And they're in there, but, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You should have protected, you know, against the power weapons there. They gave up drop. They gave up snipe. And it was a valiant effort for them, but you know, they played behind most of that match there. And Solurs, he tried to keep him in that game. He was the only person on the squad to go positive here. The rest of his teammates are going to have to pick it up here going into this next match.
Without question, Hive, they've got to find an answer. Granted, if they lose this series, they're still in a good spot at 2-1 overall record. But being up 3-0, right, being the top dog in your Swiss group. That's what it's all about, man. I will say this. Xovios had some beautiful plays. That was one of them, but it takes more than, well, he didn't see that coming. Neither did I. When that happened, I kind of jumped back in my own seat after he got taken down.
Yeah, you jumped again just now.
I did. Hey, because it's so jarring sometimes, man, when you see just the body parts fly into the air. But let's talk about it, man. Morningstar played so very well. Marshall played out of his mind. Levels was doing such a great job. You had Siphonic popping off in those moments. Jax as well. I think across the board, you have to highlight all 5 of these members. They won this because of their teamwork and their ability to slay out as individuals, and they did just that. Hive tried to throw out a long shot. They tried to throw out a drop shot. Everything they threw on the map, they just weren't able to make it happen. Hive, they've got to learn from their mistakes. Forge is a different beast. It is their map pick. They might be the favorite going in, but you could take a lot from Morningstar winning that 5-1. They did it in a convincing fashion.
And as you said, it was the individual battles and the teamwork that Morningstar had. And I'm going to put it a lot more on the initial fights in which they won. Now, Hive put that drop shot center map. Now, usually if that drop shot goes center map, you want that to be the focal point. Sometimes you even want to bait your opponents into thinking that they can get it in. You know, here comes the Lancers. You cross them out, you capitalize on getting that one, and then you set yourself up in a 2-1 hill setup. You progress on to win a round and start controlling the rest of the drops throughout it. But Morningstar won the initials at snipe, and once they won that one, at that point, drop shots dead center, you're pretty much guaranteed that fight as well. So once that snipe goes down, both these fights are being kind of fought simultaneously. It's a 2-2-1 trickling down from the top of the mini map at Cinema all the way down to Bandstand. And, Morningstar, they got a good fight in which they won it. And it played out similar to an initial battle would if it was no power weapons on the map. And sometimes that defeats the purpose of putting a drop shot down. So I'm kind of questioning the thought process of the drop shot going dead center. Was it a mistake? Was it intentional? Because if it was intentional, I don't see why. And if I do believe I'm correct or not, but I think Hive put the sniper down top Cinema as well.
Yeah, no, they did, because they were trying to get any momentum they could. They were trying to change the pace of the fight, because at this point, they had already lost multiple rounds in a row. Actually, I believe it was 2-1 when the drop shot was placed mid, and then a long shot was placed, I believe, around just after that. No, 2 rounds after that, if I'm not mistaken. So at the end of the day, look, I mean, even with the retro coming down, it was just value city for Morningstar Gaming. It wasn't a mistake that drop shot went mid, without question, right? Hive isn't going to make a mistake placing it mid. They did it with the intention to just throw a curveball out there, but it seems as if it definitely wasn't, and Morningstar Gaming was absolutely ready to take that fight. Now, as we do transfer into Forge, Hive's map pick, Blaze, you've been on the money all night when it comes to predictions. Does Hive show a better performance on Forge?
I don't think they do, Taylor. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nah, man, I'm scared to play any LATAM team on Forge. Okay, you just saw, you know, I think we saw a lot of LATAM teams play that map today, but they're gonna be very aggressive up top, and they're not gonna be scared to fight any of these battles. And we just saw how Morningstar was winning their individual battles on District. I think that's not gonna change much on Forge. Now, Hive, they got to step it up here. They're 2-0 at the lower Swiss currently, and I want to see why. They need to show us all why, because, you know, I just saw the same Hive that I saw in the Pro League.
That's right. That's right. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this, right? That is the Hive we are accustomed to seeing. When I came into this series, seeing Hive at 2-0, I'm like, wow, man, what's up with this? They look good. They look impressive. Like, now Hive is really starting to fall on their own. And you know what? We talk about it. The Winter Major, the pressure's on teams that have been there, yada, yada. I'm like, Hive, okay, this is the team we need to see. But then they get beat down 5-1 on District. Now, granted, if they take the series, it's easy to overshadow that loss, right? So let's see if they can clean it up here on Forge. The possibility is there. Top fight's underway. Maniik is going to get picked up, but it looks to be all in vain. He'll get finished off. So will Jax. Level, Marshall last up, and Level's already brought down the full red, and Tiny's going to clean him up as well. Looks like Hive's about to take a quick round 1.
Not if Marshall got anything to say about it, okay? as he, even though Hive won the battle up top, and that's a good job to Zovios and Demise there. Those are the 2 players you want fighting that fight. On the flip end, Morningstar, they won the B-Hill engagement, but even though they cannot cap it, they buy time for their teammates to come off respawn. Marshall, he just did a little bit too much. If he stays alive there, this whole map gets reset, and his team does not give up all this map control to Hive, because now they're just gonna be able to, they're just gonna group up on their home hill, stay alive as long as they can. Number 7's on the flank. Actually, number 7's coming through electronics here, so he's gonna have a little side angle. With this flash out, he needs to be careful on his left, because he's about to be the focus of attention here, but somehow Marshall goes down, and that's because Zovios was watching over his teammates' back with that Lantern middle.
I'll say this. I am surprised Morningstar is still in it as much as they are. I thought Hive was going to be dominating, but you see the score line. Yeah, Hive has the lead, but Morningstar is right there with it. Need to fight them back for levels, though. It's going to be a big pickup. Solurs is also in trouble.
No.
He's going to drop. That's 4 down. And I agree with you. Oh, no is the right thing to say, because, again, Hive had 4 members down. I don't expect them to get a domination, but I expect them to be in a much better position. But Xovio's looking to turn it around. Good movement. You got to get him. Come on. It's been a long battle, and he's going to secure it. Man, it was messy. It was ugly. But at the end of the day, he got the job done.
You know, it ain't over yet. He keeps his team alive over there towards B. And with these kills coming through, that's 4 members down, and Hive survives. Now, where that got scary is because in a situation like that, if you're not going to make the push for the home hill, then you slow down and you let your opponent have to make difficult plays to B, because you got a guy watching top control tower, you got 2 in middle, you got 2 at incinerator. No matter, you pretty much shut down an open area at security office right there and get mini-map towards the top right of the map. That's no man's land when a squad gets to set up there on Forge, and you kind of force them down to the home hill. But because Tidy got aggressive through electronics, and he did not commit to the home hill after he threw his flash, he gave Morningstar an opportunity to kind of come back in this round. But luckily, Hive did not let it get away from him, because that would have been a little demoralizing to start this map.
Oh, without question, especially after a 5-1 loss on District, to lose a round where you had such distinct advantage, yeah, it wouldn't have felt good and definitely wouldn't shifted momentum into your favor. But hey, they got the victory. Now let's see if they can get a second one. Fight up top a little bit longer than before. For Jax, though, it's going to be the same result. He's going to drop. Maniik is now on the back pedal, and the fight just doesn't go their way. For Marshall, he's going to challenge Exovios, but Exovios didn't care. Level's going to be last up here, and he's about to look at a wall of Hive members all over the home hill.
All right, Xovios hitting shots there, and his teammates are winning battles down low. Hive in a trip cap domination position here in round number 2. They should be able to solidify this one. They just got to stop Jackson. That's going to be it for him. Hive, they get 2 in a row. Good job to them. I'm curious to see if Morningstar is going to use this as an opportunity to play something down center line. But ultimately, if you do put it down low in middle, that may be the best solution for you because you got some success happening there with Marshall. If you go up top control tower, you still got to worry about Xovios. And he's kind of ticked off after that performance during the last map, and he wants to do a little bit more for his team. But here we go. Drop shot mid-map. Let's see what type of adjustments we're going to see.
And I absolutely expected Torpo to go up top, but for Morningstar to place that drop shot mid, I think that's their best chance to kind of turn the tides, if you will. Of course, Hive will have some added utility to go into this fight, but it's not going to be too crazy, at least at this point. So let's see how this goes. Like you said, Marshall's been having great success off this start. For Hive, though, very confidently moving forward. For Shock, he is confident. He's pushing into Marshall, but it seems as if he will finally drop. Shock as well. He's going to be on all fours too. Yet Hive continues to push back the boys of Morningstar Gaming. Drop shot has not been picked up, and that is still going to be the apple of their eyes, if you will. Marshall will fall, and I think Morningstar should be able to get this, but I mean, it's still kind of unclear.
Yeah, Siphonic winning his 1v1 up top has made Hive have to push across the map towards the side of Morningstar. Now, Hive not on the same page acquiring these kills. You got to be able to put out that damage quickly and focus the same targets as your teammates, so you're not in this difficult spot. But Hive is in a trip cap dominating position. They got this drop shot. Marshall gets a big fight without CB and Cat. He's going to reset, but Demise, this has to be his focus here. Nice shot. Hive, that's 3 in a row.
3 in a row, and there is no indication they are stopping. I think they just said, look, check it out. Map number 1 was a fluke. Let's send it to game 3 because we know we're going there. And they're looking pretty much unstoppable. For Jackson, Maniik, and Levels all sitting at 1 kill apiece. Obviously not somewhere you want to be after 3 rounds. And we definitely need to see a turning point. We've already seen a drop shot place from Morningstar, and I guess we might as well throw something up top too. Nothing's working, so let's just throw everything out there and the kitchen sink. We got a Torpo up top. I expected that to be there. I didn't expect them to place it, but hey, it is what it is.
They put both center line power weapons down, and if they do not do this right away, they may even find themselves in a more difficult position. But now at this point, all they have to do is dodge an incinerate grenade. That's it. If they could do that and keep tabs on it, the rest of the map is even here, Taylor. 2v2 fight up top, 2v2 fight down low. But this time, Maniik puts on a clinic, takes out 2. Marshall gets it down. Siphonic with the cross. And now the power weapons shift on over towards Morningstar.
Right, good stuff from them. Now they have all the utility they need to make some magic happen. It's all about making that magic happen, which hasn't been easy to say the least. This is a very defensive heavy map if you can do it appropriately, and for Morningstar Gaming, they have all the utility to be able to do it appropriately. It's going to be almost impossible for Hive to push through Incinerator to go for the overextension. It's going to be difficult for them to also cross over towards mid, especially if they try to do it from the angle that they're doing it. But the smokes are out, and they're going to give it one go.
I like smokes, Taylor. I like smokes a lot, but I like flames even better. As Maniik is going to light up the map. 2 quick kills there. And they need to get map control off those 2 kills, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Rep a few bows, keep a few players' heads down, make these fights a little bit easier, get some marks out. Morningstar, they should close out this round now, but I don't think they will. Reason why? Round 4, lowest respawns. They're going to respect this on the side of Hive, and they don't want to give up their advantage just yet. I like the discipline.
Discipline is everything, and I know Morningstar has it, and that's exactly where they're sitting at. And look, by chilling out, hanging out, and using their, positioning, if you will, it's going to allow them to get a nice, sizable lead. Of course, that lead isn't everything. Hive at this point are doing a great job pushing through B, and more importantly, you got player 9 being very sneaky. He's coming on the flank. Now, this is where Levels needs to pick him up. That's 3 down from Morningstar, and now I'm worried for them. Hive, they've got the man advantage. Absolutely, as Siphonic will also drop, or should be Levels will go. And now Hive, they don't have the win condition, but they've got the pressure, and they're going to have the manpower too, and they're going to be pushing forward very hard. So, let's see if Morningstar can hold on.
All right, now, Morningstar, they're coming off respawn. They got 2 players up top to get it. Now, they recognize that they have a little man advantage. Player 7 is going to be Tidy. He's trying to get there for Demise, one of his long-term teammates, and he's going to have his back, as always. Now, down low, Morningstar, they've kind of shifted towards the bottom portions of the map. They have the lead. They went off 1, but I love that they're not fortifying up top too much. They're going to force Hive to win this fight. Now, with that first blood coming through, they're going to push forward, decap B, and that's going to be their win condition. They're keeping this one simple, but it's not over yet because the fight was lost on the home hill. Hive made some big plays, and number 4 goes down as well. Here comes Siphonic and Jax. They need to do it now. They need to win this fight on their home hill.
A is everything. A is everything. Oh, they do. They win the fight. Tidy couldn't break it. Neither could Demise. And that is going to be a COG team victory. Demise even knows that he's just going to say, hey, check it out, man. Let's relax a little bit, get a breather, and you get that one. 3-1. Hey, it's nothing to write home about, but at least it's 1 round, and you didn't go down 4-0 going into the second half.
You know, for a second, I wanted to say that Morningstar played that one kind of scared there in the round, but I'm not going to say that. They had discipline there, but it did get scary for them towards the back end of that round because Hive, even after not having a torque bow, not having a drop shot, they cut that deficit and they only lost that round by about 6 points there, all right? And, but Morningstar, they stayed cool, calm, and collected. They locked it in, but I expect them to get off to a better start this time around. They don't build their incendiary grenade just yet. That's where all their attention needs to go as they are on the weapon placements. Also, one of these rounds as well, they need to use their block to possibly still get a better advantage on one of these rounds against Hive. We'll see when that comes into play.
Whew, here we go. Is the comeback real? Will the swing round be won? Well, Siphonic, no worries up top. Should be Torque Bow is going to be going to him. Pick it up. Use it. Use it there on...
Nah, you got to put out the damage first. You got to put out the damage first. Got to help your teammate out.
I get... Oh, no, he hits... Okay, that one was a bit far off. Might be forced to press that button. Solurs now is getting scary, and so is Tidy. Drop shot goes.
Oh, now you got to hit that one, okay?
That one was... He needed that one, brother.
Yeah.
And that was the one that just got away from him. Now Torque Bow, Solurs gets away. That's tough.
But even so, Siphonic is like the conductor here in this top tower. He has the torque bow. He had all the sight lines for his team. He comes back down because he knows that they're getting pressure. Maniik goes off on Shock and Tidy. But luckily enough, Solurs is staying cool, calm, and collected. And he is nullifying everything that Morningstar is trying to throw Hive's way. And I'm not expecting anything less out of Solurs on a major weekend.
Woo! I like it. I like it. So close. Both teams, you can see, are very hungry to take over the victory. For Morningstar Gaming, though, yeah, they don't have the drop shot. Yeah, it was a great connection from Solurs. But Morningstar still has the neutral and still has their home hill. So next fights are going to be, of course, for Torque Bow and drop shot, which will be coming up soon enough. And you can tell button control is a priority. That's why Morningstar is committing quite a bit for this push.
Power weapons, map control. Hive needs to get up top, or they need to decap this hill as soon as possible. They do get the decap, and they're gonna key because of the button. Oh, they're capping the hill. They're gonna get away with it because a player traded up top. I forgot who it was on Hive, but that trade on number 4 gets this hill shifted over. Also, Maniik gets kind of aggressive towards the home hill, and if they would have slowed it down there, just kind of pressed the button, played to help their teammates up top, Morningstar would have the advantage here in this given moment, and they would have a new torque bow very soon. But they didn't have the hindsight, they didn't have the foresight to see that.
Well, Jax is going to be the first one to penetrate, get up top, but he's going to have to deal with Demise, and as well as an instant, which it doesn't happen, it doesn't connect, and they back up. That's huge. Jax, get the quick pickup. Yes, you do. And now you've got Solurs.
On the ground.
Pick him up. Get this, and that's a connection. Solurs, we'll see you later. And that's going to be ENF still locked in place. Morningstar Gaming starting to accumulate points, getting that much closer to the 250 mark. And now Hive is in a very real position where they've got to make a move. Player 8's looking to do that, but he gets shut down, and the drop shot very shortly should be going to the way of Morningstar as well as the round.
All right. Jax, he's trying to do it all. Trying to help his teammate up top, focus the fights down low. Big double kill happening up there. Button press as well. Drop shots acquired. Morningstar is looking like they're going to lock in their second round here, Taylor. And Hive need not allocate any more respawns to it as well. This is the first round of the second half. Good job to Morningstar. The second round, going into round number 6 is going to be another quick one here. So Hive, I'm going to say needs to be careful because Zovios is on 2 respawns. And the way these last 5 rounds have played out, we haven't seen any quick dominations that I don't think is going to happen now. So you got to be able to assess that. And how would you do it? How would you make the change here in this given moment? I think that you maybe need to shift somebody else up top for the fight and torque bow. Maybe you send 3 up there, you get the bow, you use incendiary grenade to slow the drop shot down and use that height advantage to be able to get both power weapons. But I think Zovios is going to need that extra protection, or he's going to have to shift his position.
And Exovios is a player you can't afford to be eliminated, right? He has so much slaying potential for this Hive roster that if he drops early on, it's going to be hugely devastating for Hive. But this might not be a worry at all. Siphonic is going to be bullied out. He gets finished. Marshall, though, will get the drop. Does he get away? It looks like at least he's going to be down. Actually, no, he does get finished up. I don't know if he got it backpacked, but that's 4 down. It doesn't even matter. Hive, they're going to have a commanding map presence at this point. And Morningstar is going to have to find a way to get back into it. Now, the heaviest casualty was Maniik. He's on lives 1 out of 4, and that is not a spot you want to be at, especially if you're looking at a barrel of a torque and a drop shot.
Nah, that is not where you want to be at all. So Maniik is going to have to be careful. That's going to be player number 5 on your mini-map, folks. He's currently down low, holding an angle, trying to cross out Incinerator. This is going to, and actually, he can even get a little look over that wall to get some intel for his team. Shock, threads the needle, picks up a kill. He doesn't have intel on anyone else on the map, but player 9 just says, hey, we got a lot of guys grouping up here on this side of the map towards power. And with the marks coming out, those are all marks on the side of Hive that came through. Right. Courtesy of Demise, he's going to set Shock up for another play here soon.
Setting them up for the alley-oop. Let's see if it works out for Morningstar. I don't even think they know what they want to do at this point in time now. If they really don't. And, you know, it's like, what can you do? It's a tough spot. It's like, oh, and that hurts your chances, too. Marsh is going to drop down to 1 out of 4. Button's going to be pressed, and I'm checking something out. Oh.
If it's any player I want to have the bow on Hive, is Demise. If it's any player I want to have the drop on Hive, is Shock. He is still holding on to that drop, being annoying. Morningstar feels that, so they're being forced over towards Demise, and Demise ain't missing shots.
Oh, man. This is... Ooh, okay. Doesn't matter. Beautiful kills, and Hive will take that 4-2 lead. And they look to send us to a Game 3 very shortly. Now, we did see some life from Morningstar rounds 4 and 5, but that's about as far as we got. Look at the slaying power from Exovios, by the way, 16 and 11. There's another member down the list at 15, and so I don't know who that was. I'll check it out in just a second. Incense for Hive. Looking to maybe, I don't know, put something else down, maybe.
Now, they already got the incense halved, and you know, I think that's a great placement. Yeah, put something else down low.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a shock grenade to hold off the Incinerator to some difficult times. Now, on a flip end, ooh, okay, Morningstar, they want to go for that that Marks, and I think that Marks is going to stay. They want that long-range potential in case this map slows down, so that's going to add some extra pressure towards the mid-game and put some pressure on Hive. But it comes down to the power weapons, and with that Marks in hand, that's going to slow down his drop shot pickup.
I really like the use of smokes. You kind of highlighted that earlier, and it just makes things so chaotic, right? Especially with the instant on the ground. For Hive, though, business as usual. 4 players will drop off. Of course, we'll see 2 more come back up. But the reality is, you know, Maniik is already on 1 out of 4. The domination's coming through. And at this point, Morningstar is fighting for their own home mill. That's a position you never want to be in. And Demise will clean up yet another. And now it's just going to be who can get there, who can get a touch. And for Marshall, he's barely going to get it. And that's going to be it. Hive is going to take the 5-2 victory to send us to a Game 3. You love to see it.
Oh, man, you love to see it indeed. That last round, the smokes came through. And I want to say most of those smokes were on the side of Hive. They push through, they get the kills, they get the power weapons, and they close out the round. Good adjustment to them. Let's see some more map number 3.
Definitely going to find out. Map number 3 is going to be up underway shortly. It's Training Grounds. Who's going to remain undefeated tonight? We'll find out after this break.
No.
All right, Gears Winter Major, we're back, and we're going into Game 3. Training Grounds, all tied up 1-1. I'm not gonna lie, man. Blaze, I played this very well. They came back with the vengeance, man, and they let that 5-1 loss go on District to get a 5-2 victory here on Forge.
Yeah, good job to Demise, winning some big fights up top, keeping that advantage in for his team. Solurs and Shock showing so much discipline there. Tidy being there for his teammates, and Zovio slaying out Hive. Loxy in map number 2 to send us on over to map 3. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that we're going to be going over towards Training Grounds, and we will be. So that's good. That's going to be a fun one there. I think both these squads have similar play styles, and this is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, 100%, especially on that U fight second half. Come on, you couldn't ask for anything better. We've seen pretty equal skill sets, I think, throughout this series. It makes sense why both teams are 2-0. I'm not going to lie, you know, you kind of pointed out, you know, Hive, hey, we saw a little bit of the Hive, or a lot of the Hive that we witnessed throughout the Pro League qualifiers, disappointing us. But on Forge, we saw new life, and they came back with a vengeance. Now, granted, I know teams are taking notes. You said it best, right? Whenever it comes to these pro teams, their night doesn't end after they're finished playing. They're going to do some VOD review. And if I'm a team looking at Hive's performance on District, that's going to be a weak point for sure. And the same thing for Morningstar Gaming on Forge. Both of those maps are going to be an eyesore for them. But now Training Grounds is an interesting one to watch these two teams play it out. You know, we haven't seen much Training Grounds between the two. So, hey, I like it. It's going to be a lot of fun, but like you said, a bloodbath because the play style is so similar.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, earlier today already, we've already got a chance to cast the Noble series there that they played earlier against Rebels. So they kind of gave us a masterclass on rotations on Training Grounds, different locations of which one to play based off your team's play style, whether if you guys are aggressive or more defensive. Now, on the flip end, I talked about how these teams got similar play styles. I think they're going to be very offensive here early on. Big fights at the U. And it's going to be, I like to call it a Nasher measuring contest that we're going to have until somebody concedes over there and decides to flip the strategy and choose to do something else. Now, who do I think has the bigger bag of tricks and strategies to bring out here? I definitely think it's Hive. They've had some great coaches in the past, still do. Formerly Coach Fatal Strike. I do believe they still got Coach Crazy Train, and it's a lot that's been brought to this team. You also got players like Shock, who's been on Rise, Solurs, who's been on that Optic Gaming Dynasty, and UYU. They got a lot of information, a lot of strategies to bring here as well. It just comes down to if Hive is going to be able to have trust in each other, be consistent, and not try to feel like you have to do it by yourself. Because sometimes there are players on the team that say, you know what, I need to go be the Slayer.
Absolutely.
I need to go out here and make up some sling power and win the fights for my team. And not necessarily, you just got to have faith that some of your other guys will step up and do what they need to do for the squad.
Brother, that was the best way you could have put that. And that perfectly sums up Elevate's issues as well. I think everybody's trying to get their, you know, the biggest slice of the pie, if you will, instead of focusing on the overall, the overextending kind of feature, which is, of course, getting the victory, getting the W. It's not about how many kills, how your stat line looks if you get the L. It's all going to be overshadowed by the L, right? And I think Hive definitely needs to realize that. The start has begun. I'm very excited to see how this is going to turn out, man.
I love the audible. They identified the push towards you. They avoid it. They shifted Demise back to Tidy. Tidy won his 1v1. Shock backed up to hold the home hill with Solurs, and Zovios went to cross from heaven. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because I thought they were going to fight it, but instead they're forcing Morningstar to kind of play into their hand.
Yeah.
And they have the perfect 2-to-1 hill setup.
And this is great for them, right? Now Hive, like you said, 2-to-1 hill setup. They're defensively set up well. I'm very curious about Demise. Demise from this positioning, I know Morningstar Gaming has zero IDs there. If Siphonic jumps over, which he's going to, now this is where Demise is going to be coming into the act. So this is going to be the first engagement he's going to be able to get into versus Siphonic, and I'm so sad that fell short. But hey, it shows Morningstar they were ready for the sneak attack. Siphonic, though, is going to be in a tough fight versus Tidy. He can't go for the finish. The Lancer Fire brings him full red. He'll finally get it, but now he's back to bunkering up. B is going to be locked up for Morningstar Gaming, so that's a great retake, and that forces Hive to go for the U fight.
Great retake indeed. Now, they're going to pinch out this last member here. Well, the first member here for Hive over towards Overlook. And Marshall, his support that came from over the top on Demise helped his teammate get B and get the setup in which they're currently in. Now, Hive need not rush this because they worked hard getting the lead early on. Demise pushes in, and his distraction allowed his teammates to decap B. But does he want to... How does Hive want to play this one? Because their home hill is not going to press, and they actually press forward. They get caught out on their opponent's side of the map, and they need to be careful if they lose this fight. Zovio's doing a good job holding off. Now, at this point, Hive needs to be careful about how many more respawns they put into this round. But looking at it right now, they got time, and they still got the lead.
They do have, and the lead makes it that much sweeter. And the pressure is real. You know, there eventually should be a 1v1 between Siphonic and Demise over on B, but for the most part, though, Hive tries to open the door on the home hill Morningstar. It's not going to happen. And now you have Demise, who's going to be able to pick up a big kill onto B. And actually, that's massive. Hive isn't down that much, right? But the pressure is real, and these kills will matter.
Man, Demise, I thought as soon as that down came through, he was just going to hold off a little bit longer and just be annoying there because he was the focus of attention. And after that kill came through, we saw a slew of kills coming through from Morningstar, but Zovios is shocked. They rebuttal on a close round number one where a 2-to-1 hill advantage is going to shift the win condition over. Siphonic can't make it to B. Maniik needs to put on a clinic, and he's the one that needs it.
He's the one who needs to go to it. Exactly that. Hive takes a very nice round. You know, Morningstar Gaming set up so very well. But of course, it was Hive who was able to take the victory. And a big loss, I would say, for Morningstar Gaming without question, but a big W for Hive. And now we head into round two. You mentioned that audible off the start. It impressed you, Blaze. Let's see if we get a little bit more of that in round two.
I'm definitely hoping that we do. Now, this time around, I think that what's going to happen is Hive, they're going to check up once again. If they assess that their opponent is sending even numbers up there towards them, I think Hive is going to go play for Overlook. They're going to trap their opponent towards you, like a similar strategy that we saw Noble do earlier. But as the round kicks off, I am completely wrong. Both squads want to play for B, and I ain't mad at it.
I'm not either, man. Look, check it out. It commands a lot of attention without question. Look at Tidy, though. Able to mow down levels and a member just before that. Nasher out, no worries. Gets the finish. That is going to be a two-piece. Actually, a three-piece, mind you. And now Marshall goes to clean up Tidy, but he got the full cap. And now you have another Hive member who's going to be there to take down Marshall. Beautiful teamwork.
Yep. Shock is going to get some help. They cap up this hill. It's a 1v1 stalemate up top at Overlook, and that's what you need. You got Demise versus Siphonic. They are keeping each other in check so that nobody has to Lancer over. But Demise calls out that they brought an extra guy to me. You guys just relax. Hold the 2-to-1 hill setup. Morningstar has to push them, and Hive is in a clear position. They understand this. Now, let's see if they can guard this push better than they did the last time.
They're going to have to. This is definitely going to be a must-hold here, or else they are going to fall behind quite a bit. Now, we've seen Morningstar break the defensive setup of Hive before, and the opportunity will arrive here. Zovios hits a nice little shot, even though he's running away. It doesn't result in much, but it at least forces Morningstar to at least turn around a little bit. He's kind of like that annoying brother just getting the punch and running away to mom or dad. Either way, though, Morningstar does make a break for it. And they are, I think, going to be able to lock it B unless Solurs has something to say about it.
Nah, yeah, his shot didn't come out right there. He gets that down. Maybe he turns this one around, but he's going to cut back towards spawn and possibly maybe go towards B, but he recognizes that his teammates got control and hey, they say, all right, guys, home hill setup, avoid B. Let's get some overlook control, and we need to get in position to help Tidy and Demise because they're fighting for their lives.
Well, they absolutely are. Oh, and you see Siphonic, nice kill onto Demise, but answered back by Exovius and Solurs on Siphonic, Levels, and Jack. So that's going to be, or excuse me, just 2 Jacks and Levels. And Morningstar Gaming will take the objective again and have the win condition. Of course, they're not out of hot water just yet. You have the 1v1 that's taking place between Maniik and Shock will go down. So the hill will maintain for Morningstar Gaming. Exovius will also fall. That is 3 gone in Blaze. Morningstar Gaming might have just taken this round.
They did, because Hive better not respawn. They better not spawn into this round, Taylor. Now they got the lead. I could be tripping, but I don't think they should. I just don't think this is the one you come back into. Now let's see if Hive can get it back. They got their home hill, but they gotta get towards B. If you get this round, you can save some respawns on the next. But I felt like this was all gonna be Morningstar, and Hive can prove me wrong.
They could.
Throwing smoke.
They very
It
well
needs to be a perfect push.
It really does. But see, this is the thing, though. Hive has been playing very well on the retakes. But I think now they're just going into the blender. That's going to be 4 down. Make that 5. And just as quick as they go for the push, Morningstar Gaming shuts them down to bring it up 1-1. It was a bloodbath without question. We knew it was going to be Blaze. You called it out to be a bloodbath right between these 2 teams with similar play styles. And it was just that. But hey, at the end of the day, it got to feel good to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, it got to, but at the end of the day, high risk. That was a high risk, high reward round for Hive, and I just wouldn't gamble it, man. You have 4 down, you got to come off respawn. Why gamble it when your opponent's already passed the 200 mark? Now it was about 200 to 180 when that happened, but they still had a lot of room to cover. They had several layers of defense that they had to get through to get to A, and we were only in round 2. You concede, it's 1-1. Great. You get more respawns. You go into rounds 3 and 4, and you got a better advantage, and you got more intel.
All right. How is this going to turn up? Well, let's find out. A Shock's going to be an engagement himself. Backed up, utility. Starting to really disorient him. Maniik will fall. He'll get picked back up, of course. Shock now is going to go ahead and retreat, exit out that choke point. Meanwhile, though, Jax is looking for blood. He wants to push in, and unfortunately for Maniik, he gets a bit carried away, and now Jack's going to be in a 1v2 himself. And he goes back in for the challenge, something he genuinely did not need to do, but hey, he's got that testosterone flow, man. He wants to know whose Nasher is bigger. Well, in that case, his was a bit smaller.
And it's a lot of testosterone flowing in Gears Esports, all right, folks? And these guys, they always come out, they perform, and, put on a show for all of us. So far this series has been super exciting here. No pause necessary, nothing but action. Now, towards the B hill and the C hill, Hive has it locked in, and that's their opponent's home hill, by the way, all right? Yeah. That was a big fight that was won there by Shock. He's like, get to A ASAP, because they got to push B.
Oh, look at this. Hive chaining together some big eliminations. Actually, all the eliminations is Morningstar Gaming. Where'd you go? If you blinked, you missed it. And Hive will take that 2-1 lead. And, man, it's got to feel good. That is the second time where they have definitively wiped all members out from Morningstar Gaming, and that just comes to show you that explosiveness. You mentioned the similar play styles, and when they go head to head, man, just the blood will flow. The chunks, they will explode, and we're seeing the effects of that. Well, man, what a round that was. We're going into the last round of the first half, but I'm not gonna lie, this first half has not been quick at all. It's gone the distance.
That's so. If I'm on the side of Morningstar, I am annoyed that Hive put the drop shot at B. They avoid the shot grenade build on the other side of the map. They're able to keep building off their successes and the intel that they've gathered up until this point. And it's going to be even on the weapon placements on this side of the map. That was a fantastic placement by Hive, as being a team that was in the lead and decided to put the power weapon down first. They don't want to change up from this fight. They want to be able to out-strat their opponents.
All right, right, Level's in a tough spot, full red. He will get dropped. Tidy made a good push drop. Oh, I thought he dodged it. That's a beautiful two-piece, though. And Jack's getting maximum value. Hey, he was feeling himself there, Plays. He was aiming it up. He wanted that cross-map kill on Exovios.
He was looking for that North Star, but, you know, in the end, he couldn't find it. It's too light outside. Now, I know his teammates are happy. He gets to keep the one drop on his back. A and B acquired for Morningstar. You look at the setup. They got a player in heaven. They got one watching B. They got some looking down from the overlook. But player 8 is the one that's going to shift. He's trying to count the numbers as well. That's why he hasn't fully committed over here towards B just yet. He's in a flex position to get to whichever pair of teammates need his help the most. And Hive masking their numbers, but Demise is going to give it away. Jack's going to get the call out. He's like, hold up. I see a lot in overlook. Be careful of the home hill, you guys.
Those callouts is absolutely critical. Here we go. The breakout's going forward. Jax pulls it out. He's ready to go. Tidy, we'll see you later. And that leaves Shock and Solurs now up there with Demise. At the end of the day, I think they still get Bravo. There's not a lot Jax can do at this point. But hey, Morningstar Gaming accumulated a decent side lead. More than half of the score from Hive. Solurs will fall, Shock as well. Demise goes away, and it looks as if Morningstar will hold on to the lead and control the map.
All right, now, Morningstar, they hold off that push from Hive at B. They got it locked in. They got their home hill locked in as well. This is the last round of the half, folks, so you want to throw all your respawns at your opponent. Just need to be careful here. Now, Hive is going to be able to get this one back in their favor, but I don't think the win condition is shifting, Taylor. They need a little bit more. Now, luckily for Hive, this next drop shot might be coming up soon because that's the next play for them.
I think it is the next play, man. Look, the drop shot's going to make a difference, right? And really, I think it's going to have a tremendous effect as to who takes this round. But for Morningstar Gaming, the lead is real. Are they comfortable? No, but I mean, they do have the lead, so they can kind of bank on the fact that they can park the bus. But if Hive gets the drop shot, you really can't do that.
Hive can't win it.
Well, this is the thing, though. I think Hive, if they get the drop shot, that's going to be huge. Demise goes for the pickup.
That's why. Because they're going to focus Demise out. If Demise gets away, I will be mind blown that they allowed him to get away there.
He got away.
He is. So the opportunity is here, but now the pressure is on. And those are some pressure drop shots, all right?
And if he dies here too, Blaze, if he dies here, okay. At least he gets the kill, but...
Yeah, they got the, that's it. They can't get it. It was just too much that needed to happen there. And during that moment, Morningstar assessed that they will be able to slow Hive down as they were able to focus the drop shot. Hive didn't have any more utility at that moment as they used their utility to kind of get B, and they needed to get past that next level of defense. You got to take a player off heaven. You got to get to the spawn. You got players off the home hill that's trying to overextend towards your home. It's a lot of things that you need to do a UYU special, and that's why we've coined it the UYU special, all right?
At that point, Blaze, you might as well be doing calculus. There's just too many variables that you got to throw out there in the calculator, all right?
Here's the war, and all about shotgun and wall bouncing, folks, if you didn't know that one.
Hey, you just blew my mind, man. I know you blew a couple of minds out there, too, and they're still going to argue with you in chat about that. Hey, it's just about hitting your shot.
The game's too slow. I don't like it.
The game's too simple, man. Like, whatever. You know, if it was simple, everybody'd be here in the Winter Major. But at the end of the day, it's Hive and Morningstar, and they're competing on the main stage for your entertainment. Now, we got the neutral. It's going to be over at U, and this is going to be a pivotal fight, right? But then again, you also have that drop shot you have to fight for as well, right? So it's going to be kind of a mix, and we're going to see teams prioritize the drop shot and prioritize the neutral. In this case, Hive, well, they prioritize the neutral. And I'm actually shocked Morningstar Gaming didn't get aggressive on the drop when they knew Hive was allocating resources for you. So, hey, it is what it is. Maybe a missed opportunity, but as of right now, no one has the drop shot. So Morningstar Gaming, they're going to be okay, but this next engagement, it's going to matter.
And, you know, I'm be honest with you. You know, Morningstar, they needed to get this overlook control. You know, just because on this side of the map, Hive may have a better opportunity on the next side, but the drop shot's here, and that is the main focal point. You're going to have to send 3 players on this side of the map to make sure you can acquire it. unless you send 3 players towards E, you lock E down, and you get a guy on top of the overlook to look down and help you get a better angle to stop the drop shot pickup. We'll see how that breaks down off the next initial, because currently Hive, they get the drop, they get the kills, they got the heals, and now they're going to get set up to get a 3-2 lead. But we'll see if they can hold off this next push coming in from Morningstar. It would be in the first round of the half. All respawns are going to be replenished. I think Morningstar has about maybe 2 more team fights left in them, maybe 1 with the score count.
1. They got 1 more team fight. This is it. I mean, they have to get on to E. And that's where they're committing their resources to. They're taking their time, though. They know the drop shot is kind of a worrying issue. Here we go. The drop shot's out. That's 2 down. That's it. Morningstar Gaming, no reason to commit any more lives. Lock it up. Hive is going to take this and bring it 3-2.
Now, going into this next round, I want to see Hive, since they're going to be on this, I do believe this is originally the cog side of the map, but regardless, when they spawn on this left side of the mini map, I want to see them send 3 towards Overlook, okay? Have 1 player fight the fight for E, send 2 top Overlook to get the angle to possibly cross out, help each other out. You got a man advantage right away, play for the kills, help your teammate out. Then immediately shift the player on towards Overlook to look down at the drop shot. If they can do that and utilize their incendiary grenade to hold off the pickup, they will be able to have E, possibly have the angles to get the drop shot, and slow down Morningstar to put them in a difficult position. Now, to flip in, what does Morningstar want to run? I'm not sure. They're going to have to win some gunfights. I do know that, though.
I think this is a critical round for Morningstar Gaming to take, and I don't mean that on the superficial level of the fact that, okay, yeah, they'll be down 4-2. This is going to be a momentum shift, if you will, and if Hive takes this and gets up, they're just going to be in a commanding position, I think, and this is going to be Morningstar's opportunity to kind of strike. But already Hive, look at how confidently they push in, they secure the drop shot, and they secure those couple of kills on Siphonic and levels, right? Hive is filling themselves.
Perfect play, because the beauty about the drop shot is that you can do the home hill setup, right? And for some reason, that just did not dawn on me, because I was thinking of the hills towards the first half a little bit. I wasn't even thinking about home hills, and they got the perfect play. So they got F, they pressed towards D, and they felt the pressure from their opponent coming off respawn to get the home hill. So before their opponents can come out of spawn, they've already shifted back towards E, and now they got the drop shots to use to get this side of the map. But they didn't play fast enough. They should have been able to get this without any issues. Now, with the drop shot kills coming out, and they recognize they have a man advantage, they should have no problems getting this, Taylor. They missed the second drop, though.
You think so? Well, I mean, Jax was connected on 2.
Oh, he was? Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was, yeah. So they get 2 for 2 with it, but I mean, and either way, it allows for them to get the break and actually go for the domination again. And like you said, great round. So this is the thing. That round, Morningstar Gaming, I felt needed to win to kind of get, a little bit more wind in their sails. I believe Hive now just kind of has too much momentum to be stopped at this point. And you can see that in how hard and how aggressively they pushed in for the drop shot. It was basically uncontested. They're basically pushing fights, and they don't care how many members from Morningstar Gaming are there anymore, right? And that's when you know they're really feeling themselves. So I think Hive has got this in the bag. Now we're going to see Marshall place a boom shot. Baby, we got a Fiesta. Guys in chat, we don't get this moment at all. I want you to post the Fiesta in the chat. If you've got channel points, use it. If you're sub, use it. I want to see Fiestas, baby, because that's what we got. You love to see it.
What is this, Gears 4? This is season 1, fall season 1? I don't know, but I haven't seen a boom shot and a drop shot on the map at the same time for a while, but it's going to spread it out. I like the decisions here from Morningstar. They pick up 2 kills off the start. Now, if they can get into position at B, help their teammates out, they can get the drop and they'll be able to get the boom as well.
Right, so I like that, man. It got a fresh breath of air, if you will. You saw how hard he was pushing into that fight, and he wasn't taking no for an answer.
What?
He wanted it. He wanted. Why did he not? And then you're gonna take that guy out? Take the guy with the. I don't know what just happened there.
Nerves.
I'm just as confused as you, man. I don't even know.
You gotta be the king of your castle and make that decision. You can't wait for the call out, but in regardless of the fact, all right? Hive got 2 drop shots to utilize. Jack still got 1, but he can't die here. He's getting pressure Now, Demise, he's using his drop to help his teammates get into this overlook and stop the members, the reinforcements of Morningstar getting there to help Jackson Cole. But this drop coming through, Demise got him right where he wants. Oh, the flank comes through. Whoever that player is on the other side, that's number 5. That's Shock. That was a big play because he saved his teammates and he saved the power weapons for him.
And that's huge. I was shocked that Demise was actually pressing forward, knowing that he has one more drill bit to his name, but he's going for it. Marshall will fall to Exovios. He'll then get traded. Now, Morningstar Gaming still has the lead despite all of that exciting action.
Barely.
But Hive, but barely, and that's the thing. They barely have the lead, but more importantly, they're losing in respawn economy, and I think that's the biggest thing, right? In terms of longevity, they're looking a bit rough.
Morningstar needs some perfect plays, but luckily for them, they got some big weapons on each side of the map. Now, you mentioned the respawns. Hive has the drop to use. This one in the hands of Demise. The weapon respawn timers are going to be super important on what they can acquire. And I think Hive make sure that they can get the boom shot first, because the boom shot was picked up first. So it's coming off respawn very soon here, and they get to protect E. That drop is gonna be the hottest one we've seen all day, Taylor. That's a triple. New power weapons going over on the side of Hive, and they're looking to make Fallout look like a genius in his 2-1 prediction.
Oh, hey, why you got... I like that, 2-1. Everybody went 2-0, but Fallout said, no, Morningstar Gaming, hey, they can surprise us, and well, they are. Solurs is going to connect on to Siphonic. That triple kill, though, was kind of the final nail in the coffin, Blaze. I think we both knew it. 5-2 victory, and that is going to be an overall 2-1 victory for the boys on Hive, and they will stay flawless all day long, and it's fair to say they are the kings of the castle when it comes to the lower Swiss pool.
Yes, they are. That is 3-0 there for Hive. They're looking good. That's the top spot of the lower Swiss pool, and Hive needs to build off this performance in which they've had today, Taylor. They've had some easy matches. They've been in some difficult spots. They've recovered, and this is a great start. If they continue to build by Sunday, by the time of the champ bracket, this will be a team that you need to fear.
Without question. Without question. Look, we talked about it time and time again. I'm going to sound like a broken record. The inconsistencies before, they don't matter if you perform in the Winter Major. And for Hive, they are performing.
Yes.
Of course, bracket play is going to be a little bit different tomorrow without question. But the opportunity for them to, look poised and ready is there, and they made it happen. Good on them. From Morningstar Gaming, though, yeah, they do get the L. They take the loss. But you know what? They looked impressive on District, and I think that gives them a little bit of momentum kind of going into tomorrow's bracket play. Yeah, they just lost to Hive. Hive remains undefeated 3-0, but then again, Morningstar Gaming still finishes off with a record of 2-1, which puts them up in the upper echelon of teams in the lower Swiss pool. So even though they take the L here, I think they got a W for today's play.
And you know what? I think that was a good battle for him. That was a good fight there. That Morningstar put up against Hive. Now our other 3-0 team here of our lower Swiss is going to be Remedy, consisting of Red 9, Reflex, Pushies, Emissive, and Javon Doggin. So those guys are also going to go 3-0 as well.
Javon Doggin coming big. I know
everybody.
The rest of them now.
He dogged everybody.
I don't know. I don't know Javon Doggin too much unless that's just kind of his username. I'm going to see what his real name is, but I've watched Emissive and all of them quite a bit. But hey, he's representing well 3-0. No, that's cool. Remedy is a team that was in the Challenger Series consistently. Were they the top level team? No, that was, of course, Hayabusa and Rated R. But hey, they ended up playing very well. They really did. And by the way, support Hive with those in-game skins. I'm telling you, get 15% better. Something that I haven't done yet. I need to buy those skins myself because I'm trying to work my way up in the free-for-all ranked play. If you hear me, so meet me on the sticks.
When I came down to doing my skin set, I made sure that I had my Hive shotgun so I can be just a little bit better than the rest. I had my UYU Lancers so I can outcross everybody. And I have my Rise pistol so I can be versatile, all right? So that was my loadout. So you definitely want to get the Hive shotgun there, Taylor. I promise you, it'll make you just a bit better.
You love to see it, man. Hey, I think it definitely will. Something I'm going to have to pick up. I'm not going to lie. give you that support. Now, check it out, man. We've done some great series today, Blaze. I know our time is coming to an end, though, sadly, but we will be back tomorrow. Colin and Jacob are going to go ahead and finish it off for the day. So we're going to dip out. They're going to replace us. But hey, the content doesn't end just because we're leaving. The content continues. We still have to finish off our Upper Swiss pool. And more importantly, Jordan needs to conduct an interview with Shock, just to kind of pick his brain, see what Hive is all up to. And I hope we find out what's going through their mind when it comes to the Winter Major. We're going to hop off, but stay tuned. A lot more still to come.